A secret so explosive that it could change perceptions of two of the most famous people alive. Picture Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, navigating yet another high-profile event, prepared for the cameras, the questions, the applause. In a moment that will be remembered for years, Hollywood icon Tom Cruise, standing in the spotlight, publicly exposes a secret about Harry, something Harry had guarded fiercely, something the world assumed would remain hidden forever. The shock on Harry's face is unmistakable, the murmurs in the crowd immediate, and the world collectively leans in, eager, curious, and completely captivated. Before we dive deeper into the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel for full updates, insights, and all the unfolding details of this extraordinary revelation. Prince Harry has lived a life under scrutiny few can truly comprehend. From the tragedy of losing his mother, Princess Diana, at a tender age, to the relentless spotlight of the British press, he grew up in a world where privacy was a luxury he never knew. Every birthday, every school report, every vacation, and every minor infraction became front-page news. He was forced to navigate a complex web of expectations, royal duty, public image, family legacy, all while coping with grief, pressure, and an intense desire to forge his own path. His life has always been a delicate balance of personal desires versus public obligations, a tightrope walk watched by millions, and enter Tom Cruise, a name synonymous with Hollywood excellence, action-packed performances, and an image meticulously curated over decades. Cruise commands attention wherever he goes. His life, much like Harry's, is a spectacle, but one managed in a different way. Hollywood celebrities often construct personas that maintain a distance from scandal. Yet Cruise has built a reputation for control, discipline, and occasional unpredictability in high-profile situations. The collision of these two worlds, royalty and Hollywood, set the stage for one of the most dramatic exposures in recent memory. The event was an internationally televised gala, a convergence of stars, dignitaries, and media representatives. Cameras flashed incessantly, capturing gowns, tuxedos, and smiles. Yet, amid the orchestrated spectacle, something unexpected was about to disrupt the carefully choreographed environment. And as the speeches progressed and the audience focused on awards and accolades, Tom Cruise made a move that no one anticipated. With charisma, authority, and a hint of mischief, he revealed a secret about Prince Harry, a personal truth that Harry had gone to great lengths to keep private. The moment was immediate. Gasps echoed through the room, whispers rippled across the crowd, and cameras captured the exact second Harry's composure faltered. The secret wasn't trivial. It was deeply personal, touching on aspects of Harry's life that many had speculated about, but no one had ever confirmed. An revelation instantly transformed the event. The audience's attention shifted completely, social media erupted, and journalists scrambled to contextualize the bombshell. The juxtaposition of Harry's vulnerability and Cruise's commanding presence created a tension that was palpable. Millions watching live experienced the shock simultaneously, sharing the disbelief and curiosity that rippled across continents. Harry's journey up to this point makes this moment even more compelling. His early adulthood was defined by service, both in the military and in humanitarian work. He earned respect for his dedication, courage, and advocacy, particularly in areas relating to mental health, veterans, support, and global humanitarian initiatives. Yet the shadow of the royal family always loomed. Every public appearance, every charity endeavor, every speech was analyzed through the lens of royal expectation. The world watched not just what Harry did, but how he did it. And now, the world was watching him in a situation where control was suddenly out of his hands. Tom Cruise, known for high-stakes stunts and risk-taking on screen, has a flair for the dramatic in real life as well. To publicly disclose a secret about Harry in front of an international audience was unprecedented. While Cruise's motivations remain debated, sources suggest that his intent was not to humiliate, but to confront a truth in a manner only he could orchestrate, direct, immediate, and impossible to ignore. The exposure placed Harry in a position he had likely never anticipated, completely unprepared, emotionally vulnerable, and at the mercy of global attention. NNTHE reactions were instantaneous. Social media platforms lit up with speculation. Fans expressed shock, support, and concern for Harry's well-being. Headlines around the world splashed with phrases like "Royal Secret Exposed" and "Harry Blindsided" by Tom Cruise. Memes, video clips, and commentaries spread across digital spaces with astonishing speed. People debated the nature of the secret, why Cruise had revealed it, and what implications it could have for Harry's personal and public life. NNFOR. Harry, the consequences were more than public embarrassment. They were deeply personal. To have a secret revealed in such a public forum affects relationships, trust, and emotional stability. Reports suggest that Harry experienced a mixture of disbelief, frustration, and even anger. But beyond the immediate shock, there is a broader significance. This moment highlights the challenge of maintaining privacy in a world dominated by media scrutiny, celebrity culture, and instantaneous communication. NNTHE's secret itself, while the details remain closely guarded, reportedly touches on Harry's private decisions, personal relationships, and life choices post-royalty. It is not a trivial matter or a scandal concocted by tabloids. It is a revelation that sheds light on a dimension of Harry's life previously unknown to the public. The exposure forces both Harry and the public to confront questions about trust, judgment, and the delicate balance between public expectation and personal truth. The point makes this scenario so riveting is the contrast between the two men involved. Harry represents royalty, a life defined by heritage, ceremony, and obligation. Cruise represents Hollywood, a life defined by performance, spectacle, and self-curation. When these worlds collide, the result is unpredictably powerful. Cruise's revelation, delivered with precision, timing, and undeniable authority, underscores how even the most prepared individuals can be caught off guard in moments of exposure. This incident is also a lesson in human vulnerability. Despite his fame, influence, and resources, Harry's reaction reminds the world that everyone has moments of emotional exposure. Even those accustomed to constant scrutiny can be unprepared for truths unveiled in high-stakes environments. It serves as a reminder that behind the public image, there are real people, experiencing real emotions, navigating complex interpersonal dynamics. NNTHE aftermath of the revelation is unfolding in real time. Analysts are dissecting body language, interpreting statements, and projecting possible outcomes. For Harry, the exposure may redefine aspects of his public image, shift perceptions of his personal life, and influence future engagements. For Cruise, it reinforces his position as a figure who can command attention and drive narrative in ways few others can. And for the public, it is a dramatic reminder of the enduring fascination with celebrity, secrecy, and revelation. And Harry's supporters have been vocal. Messages of empathy, solidarity, and understanding pour in from fans worldwide. Many express admiration for his resilience, noting how he has navigated numerous challenges throughout his life and career. Yet, the incident also sparks intense debate about privacy, ethics, and the role of public figures in controlling their own narratives. This event marks a turning point not just for Harry, but for broader conversations about celebrity culture, media exposure, and the dynamics of public revelation. It challenges assumptions about control, invites scrutiny of ethical considerations, and forces reflection on the power of a single moment to shift global perception. And as the story continues to unfold, questions abound. How will Harry respond publicly? What will this mean for his family, his relationships, and his ongoing projects? How will Cruise's revelation influence perceptions of trust, power, and transparency? And ultimately, how will the public reconcile fascination with empathy, scrutiny with understanding? One thing is certain, moments like these define cultural narratives. They captivate audiences, spark debate, and leave lasting impressions. Prince Harry's shock, captured on camera and amplified by global media, underscores the complexity of navigating life at the intersection of public expectation and personal privacy. It reminds us that no matter how powerful, famous, or prepared someone may be, exposure and vulnerability are universal experiences. As the news of Tom Cruise's revelation rippled across the globe, Prince Harry was suddenly thrust into a storm unlike any he had faced before. The secrecy that had once shielded him, allowing him to live a semblance of normalcy despite the glaring scrutiny of his public life, evaporated in an instant. Every headline, every social media post, every televised commentary dissected his reaction, his words, and the implications of the secret now public. The world watched, waiting for his next move, as if anticipating a dramatic response that would either confirm or refute what had been revealed. It's essential to understand the weight of this exposure. Prince Harry, despite his fame, is a man deeply conscious of privacy, legacy, and the delicate balance between public duty and personal freedom. The revelation by Tom Cruise was more than just a casual disclosure. It struck at the core of Harry's carefully curated personal narrative. Suddenly, aspects of his life that he had painstakingly kept under wraps were being debated on every platform imaginable. The reactions were instantaneous and the consequences multifaceted. Within hours, social media exploded. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok became battlegrounds of speculation. Some hailed Cruise's revelation as a courageous act of transparency. Others criticized it as a breach of personal trust. Memes, reaction videos, and discussion threads proliferated at a staggering rate. The secret became a trending topic worldwide, fueling debates not only about Harry's life, but about the ethics of public disclosures by high-profile figures. Public fascination grew exponentially because this wasn't just celebrity gossip. It was a collision of two powerful worlds, where privilege, secrecy, and influence intersected dramatically. Behind the headlines, sources close to Prince Harry describe an emotional whirlwind. Shock, disbelief, and vulnerability dominated his initial reactions. Even someone as media-savvy and composed as Harry could not fully prepare for a revelation of this magnitude in such a public and theatrical setting. The exposure triggered reflections on trust, personal boundaries, and the nature of privacy in the age of instant information dissemination. For Harry, the emotional impact was deeply human, transcending the royal facade. The nature of the secret itself, while carefully shielded from the public, is reported to touch on highly personal decisions Harry made in navigating life post-royalty. These decisions relate not only to personal relationships, but also to choices that define his public persona, his role as a father, and his humanitarian efforts. While many details remain confidential, the gravity of the disclosure has sparked global intrigue, leaving audiences eager to piece together what this secret might mean for the trajectory of Harry's life and public image. Tom Cruise, on the other hand, navigated the revelation with the kind of poise and precision that only a seasoned Hollywood icon could display. His delivery was sharp, confident, and impossible to ignore, commanding attention while leaving room for interpretation. Observers noted the contrast between Cruise's composure and Harry's startled reaction, a dynamic that amplified the drama. The public could sense the tension, the surprise, and the vulnerability, which made the moment all the more captivating. The incident also raised critical questions about media ethics, the responsibility of public figures, and the power dynamics inherent in moments of revelation. When one high-profile individual exposes another, even with the best intentions, the ripple effects are enormous. Trust, reputation, and public perception are all immediately affected. Analysts noted that while Harry had weathered media storms before, this situation was uniquely potent, involving a combination of emotional exposure, public spectacle, and the unpredictable influence of celebrity culture. Not fans and supporters of Prince Harry were quick to voice their empathy. Messages of solidarity poured in from across the globe. Many emphasized the humanity of the moment, reminding audiences that even the most privileged individuals experience vulnerability and surprise. Others debated whether Cruise's disclosure was ethically sound, weighing the public's curiosity against the personal rights of an individual whose life is constantly in the spotlight. Regardless of stance, the moment became a cultural touchstone, sparking conversations that extended far beyond the initial event. And Harry's reaction in the days following the revelation further illustrated the depth of the situation. While public statements were measured, his personal reflections, shared through interviews, close confidants, and trusted advisors, revealed a man grappling with the complexities of exposure, the challenges of public perception, and the delicate balance between transparency and personal privacy. Observers noted that this moment could become a turning point, prompting Harry to reevaluate how he navigates public life, relationships, and the media landscape. From a broader perspective, the incident underscores the unique pressures faced by individuals at the intersection of royalty, celebrity, and media scrutiny. Prince Harry's life has always been a case study in the challenges of maintaining personal authenticity while satisfying public expectations. The exposure orchestrated by Cruz magnified these challenges, illustrating just how fragile the boundary between private life and public narrative can be. NNTHE's story also highlights the evolving role of celebrity in shaping public discourse. Figures like Tom Cruise wield enormous influence, not only through their craft but through the strategic management of their public image. When such figures make revelations, they shape narratives, guide interpretations, and influence the collective understanding of complex situations. In this instance, Cruz's revelation about Harry became not just an event, but a defining moment in contemporary celebrity culture, one that will be analyzed, debated, and remembered for years. NNTHE aftermath of the revelation is still unfolding, and the consequences are multifaceted. From the personal level, Harry must navigate relationships, trust, and public perception in a way that preserves both his dignity and his privacy. Professionally, he faces renewed scrutiny regarding his charitable initiatives, media appearances, and public statements. Socially, the incident may shift dynamics within royal circles, Hollywood connections, and broader networks of influence. Critics of the revelation have argued that exposing private matters in such a public forum can be ethically problematic, potentially causing unnecessary emotional distress. Supporters contend that transparency and honesty are essential, particularly when public figures are involved, and that the disclosure provides an opportunity for understanding, reflection, and dialogue. This dichotomy between ethics and transparency adds further layers to the story, making it a case study in the complex dynamics of modern public life. Importantly, the incident also opened conversations about the boundaries of public curiosity. How much should the world demand to know about individuals in positions of influence? When does curiosity cross into intrusion? And how can public figures balance transparency with the need for personal privacy? These questions, amplified by Harry's experience, continue to fuel discourse across media, academic, and social spheres. And as the global conversation evolved, Harry demonstrated remarkable poise. While moments of visible shock were unavoidable, he approached the situation with measured responses, showing resilience and grace under pressure. His actions conveyed not only an understanding of the stakes, but also a commitment to navigating public exposure with dignity, a lesson in emotional intelligence and strategic management for anyone facing public scrutiny. NNTHE ripple effects of the revelation are ongoing. Media narratives continue to explore implications for Harry's relationships, his philanthropic initiatives, and his public image. Audiences remain engaged, fascinated by the intersection of royal tradition, personal vulnerability, and celebrity influence. Each new detail, each nuanced observation, contributes to an evolving story that remains compelling because it reflects both human complexity and the extraordinary pressures of public life. And ultimately, this incident is more than a scandal. It is a cultural moment, a study in human behavior, and a reminder of the fragility of privacy in an age of instant information. It illustrates how even the most powerful individuals are subject to unforeseen exposure, how emotional responses are amplified by public scrutiny, and how narratives are shaped by those who hold the power to reveal hidden truths. NNFOR Prince Harry. This moment may serve as a catalyst for reflection, growth, and recalibration. For Tom Cruise, it reinforces his ability to influence narratives and command attention. For the world, it is an opportunity to examine the interplay between fame, secrecy, and accountability. And for all of us, it is a reminder of the universal truth that vulnerability is an inescapable part of life, even for those who seem larger than it. And as we continue to follow this story, one thing is certain: it is far from over. New developments will emerge, additional perspectives will surface, and the public will remain captivated by every twist and turn. And as the narrative unfolds, the lessons about resilience, transparency, and human complexity will resonate long after the initial shock fades. NNSO, if you've been following this story and want to stay updated on every explosive development, every revelation, and every insider detail about Prince Harry and Tom Cruise, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a moment of this extraordinary story as it continues to unfold, shaping history, culture, and our understanding of fame, vulnerability, and truth.